After an absolute slugfest last week at Bristol, we come to the city of sin. Welcome to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway and the Western States Racing League. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight, joined with me by Mr. Joe Lester. And Joe, I don't know about you, but I'm excited for this one because every time these guys come to a mile and a half, this is always an amazing show.
Yeah, it's going to be fun watching these guys battle side by side. You can move pretty much in race in every lane. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. It's qualifying underway right now. Rob Gall currently sitting atop the pile with a 30.968. Just a little bit better than your current points leader, Bentley Glazer. Those two guys going really at it all night long. Bob Beltrami right there. Dave Weaver and Brian Barnes rounding out your top five currently, as Carl Burke jumps up to 11th quick on his, I believe, second flyer. Got a handful of cars out there right now. Dennis Fuson in the 11 being one of them. He's always strong on the mile and a half every time we show up to one of these. Had some pretty decent laps in the hot lap session, coming across the line to take the green flag to start his first flyer right now in the 11. So we're still waiting on Jeff Hollingsworth, Kevin Thrift, Wayne Fleet, Russ Kilgore, James Campbell, Ryan Steele, last week's winner, Keith Kellman, Barry Phil, Jeff Schmeier, Eric Woods, and Will Fletcher starting to roll it finally. So
yeah,
looks like
he was fast in practice. I expect him to be able to put down a quick lap here.
Absolutely. As first lap for Fuson, going to slot him 16th quick. As Jeff Hollingsworth rolling the United States Coast Guard Chevy Silverado out there. He's on his first flyer, running the high line through 1 and 2, bringing it down the Nellis back straightaway here. Full head of steam for the 97. We got some points to make up right now, as he's not had the last couple of weeks go his way. So definitely looking to try to make some headway right now. Down onto the apron, cross the line for first lap of...
He slots in at P23, I believe.
Yep, first lap. He was trying to get it wound up. You could see that he was trying to use the rubber band effect, using the long way around, getting that thing just wound up and wound up and wound up, using as much track as he could on the first lap. He's going to really go after it on the second lap. You see him right down on the apron right now.
Yeah, sometimes it's just good to get that first lap in, kind of take it safe, and then go real hard on the second lap trying to get a flyer. And he goes to the top of the boards.
Wow. Right to the top of the pile with a 30.952. Ryan Steele, last week's winner, out on track right now as well.
William Fletcher just set a lap at P2, so...
That's a good lap for Fletcher. He's not really known as a qualifier either, so it's good to see Will starting up towards the front of this piece. As last week's winner, Ryan Steele, out on track for his first lap right now, getting ready to come across the stripe for first time in 30.168. That's going to put him 24th quick. Now, don't be too concerned about that, because we've seen him. We saw the same thing with Hollingsworth. Had basically a first lap throwaway and then really got after it on the second lap. Let's see what lap 2 is going to bring for Steele. Steele currently sitting second in points right now, only a handful back from Bentley Glazer. As a matter of fact, the lead has been cut down to 34 points. It was over a race out. Steele going to slot into 15th quick.
Yeah, we still got a couple guys left to go. Maybe they're just going to start from the back and try to avoid the chaos early and get their way up to the front.
Well, yeah, there are some guys that like to do that. Dustin Burns in the 04 out on track. Russ Kilgore coming across for his first timed lap. Sorry, he's on his first time lap of the Miller Genuine Draft Ford F-150. As
He'll run the top line to try to get it rolling like the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth did on his lap.
That's exactly. It seems to be the way it's working right now, as looks like the 22 of Jeff Schmeier out on track as well. Let's stay with Kilgore though, as he is on his first flyer. Quick rundown of what we're looking at tonight. Relatively cool conditions for the Vegas area. Only 77 degree ambient air temperature, which has given us a 79 degree track temperature. And only a 2-mile-an-hour wind out of the north, so these guys are only facing it going down the back straightaway. It's not going to be too over the top. Only 4 sets of tires to get them 107 laps tonight, and they do have one fast repair in their pocket. Kilgore going to go 20th quick on his first flyer. Second flying lap. Let's take a look at Schmeier in the double deuce, as he is on his first right now, coming through 3 and 4. And again, I love the paint scheme he runs at these night races. The red and the black really complement each other well. It's a sharp looking paint scheme. Is 31.422 is going to put him 28th quick on the first flyer. And again, Schmeier not normally known as one of those. It's a good qualifier, but you get him in a race situation and watch him make some headway.
Yeah, he kind of does a thing. I watched him right there where he pulled it down in the middle of the corner on exit of that last lap, trying to get a better run off the corner and heading to the line. He'll slot in P11.
P11. So the only other truck out on track right now is going to be the 04 of Dustin Burns.
He's coming to the line to complete his lap. He will slot in.
It doesn't look like he's going to improve.
Yeah, I don't know if he had a slide on that lap or what.
He had trouble on both laps because he did not improve on that second lap. So now he is just turning laps. Just try to get the feel for this truck, which is a good idea. So still waiting on a couple of guys that did not qualify. Keith Kelman, Wayne Fleet, Eric Woods, and James Campbell. All those guys are going to be lined up via their iRating. But let's take a quick rundown of the starting grid. Starting up on the pole, driving the number 97 U.S. Coast Guard Chevy Silverado. That is going to be Jeff Hollingsworth getting the Red Cat QuickTime Award. He's going to be joined up on the front row with the Texaco Havoline number 28 of Will Fletcher. If I can get my cameras to work. Starting inside, row number 2 is going to be the 31 of Rob Gall. He's going to be joined with points leader Bentley Glazer. Bob Beltrami and Dave Weaver make up row number 3, with row 4 going to Brian Barnes and Kyle McCartney. Charles Woods and Wayne Hutchinson going to be rolling off in row 5, with row 6 giving us Jeff Schmeier and Fred Williams. Joe?
Sorry about that. I was having some technical difficulties. I couldn't hear anything.
So, roast. Thanks.
Then we got Paul Krumai and David Wood, 17th and 18th. Row 10 going to be Dennis Vizon and Ron Hollyfield. Row 11, Russ Kilgore and Oral Weaver, followed by James Dewar and Julian Reese. Row 13 is going to be Javier Torres and Daniel Scott. Angela Espo and Barry Phil are going to be row 14. Then we got Dustin Burns and Keith Kellerman, row 15. Wayne Fleet, Eric Woods, row 16. Full field here today, followed up by James Campbell in that 25 teal Ford. And it's going to be a good one. That's the last I'll say, folks.
Absolutely. Thanks, James. Again, 33 trucks here scheduled to do a battle for 107 laps. We're looking at a pit window somewhere around 35 to 40 laps. This is one of the air quote cookie cutter tracks, but with the amount of heat and sun this track sees all day long, all year long, there is a lot of character in this asphalt. As the field right now rolling off behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing, Jeff Hollingsworth going to have the button as the field works its way down the Nullis back straightaway. As again, 33 trucks, very hungry. Points leader Bentley Glazier is going to want to stop the hemorrhaging right now, as he did not have it go all his way last week. And Rob Steele was able to, make up points on him, and then that's huge, especially this part of the season, to have the points battle be as close as it is. So as the field works its way out of turn number 4, the only thing that's left to do as the pace truck gets ready to haul on off is you're going to wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, give the steering wheel a nice pull, make sure it's nice and tight, because race fans, it's showtime!
Good jump here. He's going to take up ahead. Rob Gall, William Fletcher behind him, and Bentley Glazier trying to make a move on the inside of William Fletcher. He's going to do so, and rounding out 5th, Bob Beltrami working that bottom line, getting himself a position over Brian Barnes and Kyle McCartney, but Daniel Weaver falling a little bit back there.
Absolutely is. Right now, they're stem to stern for the top 5. The only battling going on is really in the mid-pack right now with around McCartney, Hutchins. Oh, we got one into the wall. That's Charles Woods in the 40.
Oh, they're wrecking out a 4 there.
Oh, jeepers. Well, that started with the 40 of... It started with the 40 of Woods. Actually, that started with the... looks like Weaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That was David Weaver getting into the apron, nerfing Woods, and then everybody jumped. Yeah, oi! Jeff Schmeier uses a pinball. You can see the contact between Weaver and Woods as everybody starts checking up around them as they're both going around. And Jeff Schmeier just gets annihilated.
Yeah, that was a pretty big wreck. It's sad to see all these good cars get taken out so early.
Well, the good news is they do have a fast repair they can use. Provided they don't have to tow the damn thing, they should be able to get down pit road, burn the fast repair, but they're going to be behind the 8 ball now because something else is going to pop off and you're in deep doo.
Yeah, if you get caught up in...
Wrecking still on the in turn 3. What the hell's going on there? Something happened with Angelo Espo.
See what happened here. Oh, it looked like the 95 pulled up in front of him. The 95 of Fred Williams. Didn't see
why
him coming.
was Williams down there in the first place is the question. Ooh. Oh, he was trying to... Okay. Fred Williams not paying attention, catching the tail end of the pack, jamming on the binders, and then eating the inside wall to avoid running over cars in front of him. And ouch! Just truck to the door.
Yeah, he had some pretty big contact there. Hope he's okay.
Both those guys are rolling those cars, so looks like everybody that went down pit road had to burn their fast repair. So definitely not a good way to start this one. And
yeah, and you only...
Jeff Schmeier's still in the pits.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if he's getting towed right now or what.
No, he drove that onto pit road.
Okay.
I'm just checking the deltas between time in box and time on pit road. He drove that onto pit road, and I don't know. Oh, he forgot to check his fast repair. Forgot to check the fast repair, so it's going to hold him there for quite a while. So that is a heartbreak for the driver of the Halloween 22. Not the night he was hoping for, especially considering that he's currently sitting third in points. Now, there's a little bit of breathing room between he and Kyle McCartney, but McCartney's up in the top 10 of a 33 truck field. Jeff Hollingsworth is right there as well, leading this one. So, we're getting down to crunch time, folks. We really are.
Pace car takes that hard left onto pit road, and green flag is out.
Good catch, my friend. I wasn't live. As everybody seems to get away a little bit better this time. Looks like they went single file on that restart.
Yeah, I believe if you don't go a lap before the caution comes out, it will go single file.
Well, that's good to know. As looks like Javier Torres working with Earl Weaver to try to get around Julian Ricci. That's Ricci in the ace on the low side. As that is your battle for 11th right now. They finally get that one sorted out. They're going to have to get it sorted out even quicker. As Kyle McCartney goes quick time, Kevin Thrift immediately bumps him off on quick time. So quick time of the race so far, 32.9 flat.
Yeah, let them get a couple more laps, and they'll start hitting those 31s and 30.9s around there.
Absolutely, as we've got a real hot and heavy battle back in the around the 20th position right now. As there is a whole angry gaggle of cars right there. Wayne Fleet, Russ Kilgore, James Campbell, Dennis Fuson, Ron Holyfield, and Angelo Espo. Just throw a blanket over those guys right now.
Yeah, there's about 9 cars right there, just within a second of each other. And they're all side by side.
Oh, yeah, and they're looking to go 3 wide here as they haul it off into turn number 3. Good grief, boys. Leave some on the table for the rest of the children.
Yeah. Let's save this racing for the end of the race. Let's not kill our cars yet.
It looks like Earl Weaver may have had some problems, may have cheese grated the right side of that truck as he is hemorrhaging spots right now. And into the wall again, he's got a cut tire.
Yeah, I think he does. Let's see if he can get it back down pit road before the whole thing, we start getting debris on the track.
That's Paul Crumride just coming out of the pits now. After servicing that ride, and Jeff Schmeier has put it on the hauler, as has Carl Burke. So 2 retirements so far as Crumride, the last truck still running in 31st, a couple laps down right now because of that melee that we saw in the opening salvo of this piece. As
it looks like the battle for the lead's heating up between the 87 of Bentley Glazer and 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth.
It's starting to, and you've got Gall and Beltrami right there as well, and never count out Brian Barnes. As you got about a 10 truck breakaway right now at the front of this piece. It's almost like watching a plate race. And here comes McCartney to the inside of Beltrami for 4th, trying to make something happen down the front chute here. And Glazer and Hollingsworth, they are teammates, so don't expect any weird moves to happen or any dive bomb crazy stuff from those two guys. They're working together right now, trying to make sure that they both finish on the podium and at least one of them wins the race. But that battle for 4th still hot and heavy as McCartney still on the low side in the 18. Beltrami in the Toyota on the high side, and Brian Barnes in the 4, the Popsicle Chevy Silverado, has got to be getting frustrated. He's got the speed, and we're under caution again. Why am I not finding it? Earl Weaver looks like maybe.
Let's see what happened to him. No, I don't think it was him.
I don't have it.
Let's
Looks
look and
like-
see what happened to him.
So it looks like, oh!
It looks like Javier just misjudged and thought he was clear and came up into the one.
Absolutely. Is that ended all sorts of poorly. Aye. That was a hard hit. I mean, that was a knock into the wall right there. I mean, he does a 360 spin, but that was still a knock.
Yeah, they'll have to take a fast repair there and try to get that car fixed.
I think he already burned it.
That means he'll probably be out for the race.
Oh, we're about to find out as he hits his pit stall. I thought he already burned it during the last caution. And yeah, they're not doing any body work to that truck, so he is unfortunately that truck is not looking healthy at all. I do want to thank you folks for joining us as the nightcap to the triple header here tonight on ESPN. And remember, we do this every night of the week, not triple headers, but we do have racing every night of the week so far. Coming up the rest of the week, we've got the Sim Racers Edge Alpha Series SRE Championship night from Indy. That is going to be an 8:15 start tomorrow night. 10 minutes later is going to be the Pony Express Sim Racers Endurance for Amateurs, their season 3 finale. So double finales tomorrow. And then we have round 11 on Thursday at Fairbury for the DOB sprint cars. So we're going to rack them, stack them, and fire it off again. As lights should be going out on the Chevy Silverado Pace truck this time. And nope.
Looks like they'll go around one more time.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at our top 5 right now. As we've got Hollingsworth, Glazer, Gall, Beltrami, and McCartney. And the first set of fresh tires is all the way back in 12th with Russ Kilgore.
We'll see how some tires will affect the racing. I think they only get 4 sets of tires for this race.
4 sets of tires. The set they start the race on, which is the set they qualified on, and then they've got 3 extra sets in their pocket to get them through the rest of the race. So they've got to be, mindful of tire degradation, because, you and I both know from driving this truck at this track numerous times that, this truck loves to eat the right front off, especially coming off the Nullis back straightaway.
Yeah, it'll eat the right front off, but as the run goes on, it actually tends to eat the right rear off and cause it to get a little loose.
Absolutely. As lights go out this time on the Chevy Silverado Pace truck. And we are getting ready to go back to green. So Hollingsworth, Glazer, Gall, Beltrami, McCartney, Barnes, Thrift, Fletcher, Hutchinson, and Steele rounding out your top 10. And you know as well as I do that, Ryan Steele, with that strong run last week he had at the last Great Coliseum, just came up a couple laps short of leading the most laps. Only he and Glazer actually led laps last week. So he would love nothing more than to expand on being able to, use that momentum that he gathered to try to nip more into that points lead that Glazer built up early in the season. as Hollingsworth looking to make some headway as well tonight, making a statement that the United States Coast Guard is no joke. As I'm hearing giggling. I don't know why. I was dead serious about that. Uh, Anyways, Hollingsworth bringing them around as they come through the 3-4 complex, waiting for the pace truck to make that hard left turn onto pit road. Now, that's something we're probably going to see later on in the event. If we get a long green flag run, you know, green flag pit stops are not easy to do here. It's very easy to blow past the pit in. As the pace truck is in, Hollingsworth pulls the trigger, and we are back underway.
It looks like he'll clear the 87 of Bentley Glazer, and now the 31 of Rob Gall's on his inside.
Gall getting a good run going through 1 and 2, looking to wrestle second away from Glazer. Glazer on the high side, looking to get a good run down the back straightaway as Gall can pull up in front of him. As here comes Bob Beltrami to Glazer's door as well. Glazer not having the restart he needed, just hemorrhaging spots right now in that second lane.
Yeah, he's losing spots left and right. I think he's about to lose another one to Kyle McCartney.
Now he's able to throw the block on McCartney, get back in line, as it looks like the low line is where you want to be, especially early in this run, as Glazer running about a car width up off the apron there, getting a good run down the back straightaway. He pulls to the door of Beltrami, side by side for second, as Gall looking to the inside on Hollingsworth for first. Hollingsworth slams the door, though.
Now it looks like Bob Beltrami will go to the inside of Rob Gall and try to make a move there for second.
Well, he's definitely looking, and McCartney right there as well, looking to shuffle Glazer back to fifth, as Brian Barnes just silently stalking these guys right now. But,
yeah, this is some exciting racing up front.
Oh, yeah, this is week in and week out, folks, so if you like what you're seeing on track, you know, they do this every Tuesday night, so don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, share, turn on bell notifications, tattoo it on your dog's forehead so you don't forget. And let us know in the chat where you're watching from, and you know, who you're pulling for tonight. We'd love to hear from you. We try to maintain, you know, talking in the chat with everybody as we are on the live stream right now.
Rob Gall tried to make a move on Jeff Hollingsworth to 3 and 4, but he slammed the door.
Yeah, Hollingsworth's got a good run going into 3, and it's not helping Gall at all. You know, those two guys trying to get it sorted out, but right now it's hot and heavy between Glazer and McCartney back for fourth, as McCartney on the inside, Glazer on the high side. Now, I got to think that with Glazer running that second lane, he's not going to have as much tire degradation on either of the right side tires that Glazer's going to have. So it's going to start to pay dividends for Glazer as this run wears on, as we are currently 22 laps into a 107-lap race.
Yeah, the reason the tires don't wear as much on the top is because you're not having to turn that wheel as much to make it get into the corner. And that'll actually help save your right front.
Absolutely, as that's Will Fletcher in the 28, getting by the 4 of Brian Barnes, and looking to bring Steele with him. Steele already up 8 spots from where he started this piece. So
yeah, he definitely seems to have the race pace to compete with the leaders.
Absolutely. He's just got to get through the traffic, as he's already worked around Wayne Hutchinson in the 30 and Kevin Thrift in the Nuclear Banana number 33. But, yeah, these guys are just picking them up and laying them down right now, as it's still side by side between Glazer and McCartney, as McCartney with a little bit of an advantage going into 1. Glazer's going to have the run coming off of 2. And you can see second lane starting to pay dividends already.
Yeah, he's starting to move his way back through the pack because he saved that tire early in the run.
Absolutely. As it looks like the number 28 of Will Fletcher didn't get the start, or the initial start he was looking for, but all things considered, he still has a clean truck, and he's starting to make some headway. As he's already gotten by, or back by, I should say, Brian Barnes in the 4.
Yeah. As they're all single file now, they're just trying to build up runs, kind of save some tire, and just prepare for this long run.
So battle right now for 18th, starting to really get hot and heavy as Woods trying to make his way back up through the field as he's slugging it side by side with the, that's Hollingsworth, Paul Crumry making his way around those guys. Crumry in the 15, who's a lap truck, trying to bring his teammate with him as they are working on the 25 hot and heavy of James Campbell. So Woods is usually a strong runner towards the end of a race. Got caught up in that early melee and used as a pinball. So that is why Woods is so far back.
I'd expect him to make his way back through the field. There's still a long way to go left in the race, and he'll be there at the end.
Absolutely. Is a little bit further back, that's Paul Hoffman in the 3, Ron Holyfield in the 20. We're calling that truck Casper from now on. Those two guys slugging it out right behind that battle we were just watching. And Hollingsworth not able to make some headway down on the low side. So definitely not having it all his own way. As Thrift and Hutchinson for 9th, going hammer and tongs right now. That's Thrift in the Pennzoil 33, working the inside of the TRD Toyota of Hutchinson. As those two guys, this battle has been heating up for the past handful of laps, and they're trying to get it sorted out right now. As a lot of respect being given between those two guys. Neither one wants to be, air quote, that guy, especially this early in a race, as we now have 29 in the books. Still no change at the front of this piece since we took the green. Hollingsworth, Gall, Beltrami, Glazer, McCartney, Fletcher, Barnes, Steele, Hutchinson, and Thrift rounding out your top 10. And you got a little bit of a gap back to Barry Phil, who's up 17 spots. Keith Kelman in the 07, who's up 18 spots.
Yeah, these guys have some pretty good pace. They're just trying to slowly, methodically make their way through the field, and it's showing as they're coming alive in this late run.
Absolutely. As it looks like everybody kind of just riding right now to see what this first tire stint is going to bring. We're getting close to the green flag stop pit window, so expect to see trucks peeling off here the next probably handful of laps, I would say. And
it looks like the 25 is slow on the front stretch.
20 was even slower as Holyfield got into something. He got into the 25. Boy. Just completely hip checked. And how do they call that boarding?
Yeah, it looks like something that happened earlier in the race where they just misjudged. They think they're clear. Their spotter doesn't really have a good view from that angle, and they just come up and accidentally tag the guy on the top.
Well, he was still chasing it when that happened. He got it all wrong going through the middle of 3 and 4, and he was chasing it to try to get it back under him, and unfortunately Holyfield guessed wrong.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that happened. I'm not sure if they've used their fast repair yet already, but if they haven't, they can get back up there and make a move.
Absolutely is. Battle for 6 starting to get hot and heavy right now with Barnes, Fletcher, and Steele. Throw a blanket over those 3 guys.
Yeah, it looks like the 12 of Ryan Steele is starting to make a move on the 28 of William Fletcher.
Absolutely is. He's trying to make some headway right now. As Barnes has gotten back by Fletcher. And we're to that point in the race where you've used all the goodie off those tires. So you're driving. You don't feel like Superman right now. As I'm looking at the lap times, we're looking at almost a second and a half fall off after 35 laps. So I dare say that the undercut is going to be huge here tonight should we get some green flag pit stops. And what we mean by that is first one to pit is going to get the fresher tires. They're going to be able to make some headway on those guys that stay out longer. And we've seen that pay dividends a lot this season.
Yeah, but there's also benefits of staying out a couple laps and trying to get some tire for later in the run, and you can go a couple laps more on fuel as well.
Yeah, and generally Vegas turns into a fuel mileage race, whether we want it to or not. I'm just looking through the field right now, folks, to see what we've got for battling. Everybody pretty much more strung out than a methadone clinic. As Beltrami and Gall going at it. Beltrami's got to be careful because he's got Glazer right there. As Gall throws it down onto the apron coming across the front chute. That is your battle for second and third. And we've already got takers to go down pit road. Will Fletcher, Brian Barnes both going down.
Yeah, we'll see if that...
for Glazer coming off a 2.
Yeah, I think he might have tagged the wall there, and we'll see if that affects his car any.
Absolutely. Everybody around him, though, doing a heads-up job to not get into him. That could have been a big moment. Wayne Hutchinson bringing the 30 down. So we are seeing the green flag pit stops start after a couple of cautions, 39 laps. So that's right about the pit window that we were thinking. And who's going to be the first one in the top 10 to blink? We're going to find out relatively soon here. Hollingsworth, Gall, Beltrami, McCartney, Glazer, Steele, Thrift, Phil, Kilgore, and Fuson up into the top 10.
Yeah, those guys like William Fletcher and Brian Barnes pit. I think they're pitting a little early, trying to get, like you said, the undercut and maybe try to get up into that top 10.
Well, it's definitely going to be a possibility. As Kevin Thrift brings the nuclear banana, Pennzoil Chevy Silverado down pit road. So that's the first of our top 10 that is bailing out to get some fresh shoes put on.
We'll see if this brings the leaders down pit road and get those freshies.
Absolutely. As still stem to stern right now at the front of this piece. Hollingsworth about a 5-car length gap back to Rob Gall right now. You got to wonder which one of those two is going to blink first. If you're Hollingsworth, you're a sitting duck because you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you're Gall, Beltrami, and McCartney, as soon as you see that 97 twitch towards pit road, you're going. To try to cut off the undercut. As 41 laps in the books now.
I saw the hand go out the window net of the 87. It sounds like he's going to be pitting. And he is.
And Glazer going to be the first one to bail out.
Yeah, we'll see if that brings the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth and the 31 of Rob Gall into pit road as they see somebody in the top 5 pit.
I would be surprised if they didn't. Is Glazer, David Wood, Barry Phil, Dustin Burns, Daryl Scott, and Wayne Fleet all on pit road right now.
They'll all stay
And-
out. That's
Wow.
a surprise.
Yeah, that's very surprising.
We'll see if they come in this time by.
Well, they're going to have to come in relatively soon because, a fuel tank only holds so much fuel. And it's a bad day if you go beyond what your crew chief tells you've got in that tank.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me a couple times while I've been driving around this track. Sometimes they won't even fuel the car.
Yeah, because you missed the actual mark and there's no way to get it in the box. That's a glitch I hate. As again, the leader's just picking them up and laying them down. We've got 12 cars left, or 12 trucks left on the lead lap. As Hoffman is on his way in the 3. So if none of the leaders peel off here, which it doesn't look like any of them are going to.
It looks like the 14 of Bob Trami is making a move for P2, and he's going to clear him into turn 1.
Absolutely. As Gall having some tire fall off right now, you got to wonder who's going to
If I
blink
were
first.
Gall, I'm pitting right now because I'm starting to fall off, and I'm starting to lose time to Jeff Hollingsworth,
Yeah.
and that's going to be bad.
Well, you're losing time to Hollingsworth. You're also losing time to those Toyotas around you. Is Kyle
It
McCartney
looks
going
like
to peel
Kyle
off?
McCartney's pitting.
So that's going to move the 12 of Ryan Steele back into the top 10, as he does have the lap truck of Julian Ricci in front of him. So Steele, really no pressure from behind or in front right now. Pretty decent gap back to Russ Kilgore in the 7. And he's got about a second and a half up to Rob Gall in third. But Steele already up 12 spots. Kilgore up 16. Eric Woods in the 85 up 25. That's nothing short of miraculous. And he came in on lap 14, so he can stay out a little bit longer than the rest of these guys. And you can see right there the difference between fresh tires and old tires, as Julian Ricci able to just dive it in on Beltrami.
97 of
And
Jeff Hollingsworth is on pit road.
Absolutely. Hollingsworth peeling it off to go pit side. Beltrami, Gall, and Steele all stay out to get one more lap on him. As you know that these guys right now are hoping for a caution, and they're going to trap so many drivers a lap down.
And those guys that stayed out will have to pit again because they have 10, 15 laps on their tires.
Well, some of these guys are probably trying to make it a two-stop race. As far as the basic math goes, hell, they could be trying to make it a one-stop race because they're working lap 50 of 107 right now. If they stay out a little bit longer, I think they only need, quick math, 4 more laps, and they're at the halfway mark.
Yeah, 4 or 5 more laps because you got to take into account there were a few cautions at the beginning of the race. So maybe 6 or 7 more laps on that fuel, but I think they can make it if they can save some fuel.
Bentley Glazer in the 87 about to get his lap back the hard way. As right now, Bob Beltrami in the 14 getting that all-important bonus point for leading a lap. So far tonight, it's been either Beltrami or, as Beltrami peels off, it's either been Beltrami or it's been Jeff Hollingsworth that have led, as Ryan Steele going to get credited with that one. So again, all-important bonus point desperately needed, as Glazer just got back on the lead lap, and Steele, Gall peeling off as well, but Steele still has to come back down pit road.
Looks like the 12 of Ryan Steele will peel off and hit pit road, and that'll hand the lead over to.
Looks like David Weaver in the 16 as he's working his way through 3 and 4 right now. And Weaver was involved in that early melee. So, it's good to see that truck fixed and running as he inherits the lead as Steele brings down pit road. Looks like 4 in fuel for everybody that came down under the green flag there. And
Yeah, 2 tires is just too much of a risk at this point of the race. You had
Absolutely.
fallen off about 2 seconds, and that's just not worth it to gain maybe 8 seconds. You're going to make that back easily.
Absolutely. And you can see how big the undercut worked for Glazer. He was running third. He's going to have the effective race lead because Weaver still has to come down pit road here probably in the next 10 or so laps.
And he's going to have about 7 seconds on Jeff Hollingsworth.
Right. And Brian Barnes pitting early as well was able to jump McCartney and Fletcher. Hollingsworth actually hemorrhaged down to 7th under this green flag stop. He stayed out a little longer than he probably should have. But, again, armchair quarterback kind of deal.
Yeah, I think he'll make it back because tires are just so precious at this track. And
absolutely. As the battle right now is hot and heavy for 5th between Fletcher, Hollingsworth, and Thrift. Those 2 guys going after as Hollingsworth gets a double there, going through 1 and 2. Now the Nellis back straightaway again as these guys are just flat getting it. Now, I'm going to ask you a little bit of a trivia question and see if you know the answer to this one, Joe. Why do they call it the Nellis back straightaway?
Because of the Nellis Air Force Base right behind it, I believe.
You are absolutely correct, sir. And again, thank you. What'd you see? I'm impressed. But Joe, you're going to be a good asset to the team. Welcome to ESBN.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to do some more races with you. It's been fun tonight, and I hope to get to broadcast some more with y'all.
Absolutely. Looks like Brian Barnes making some headway right now as he and McCartney are going hammer and tongs at it. Only a handful of lap difference on those tires. Oh boy.
4 wide on the backstretch, and it looks like they'll back out to 3 wide, and they're still 3 wide throughout the whole corner. It looks like not Jeff Hollingsworth, the 12, I believe, will clear him.
That's Steele in the 12, Barry Phil in the 42. The 3 of Paul Hoffman right there, as well as the 04 of Dustin Burns. You mentioned those guys were 3 and 4 wide. I don't know about you, but the most terrifying thing I've ever heard my spotter say in this simulator is 3 wide, you're the meat. Okay.
Yeah. It's scary when you're 3 wide, but just think 4 wide. That's insane.
Well, I've done that before at Talladega. I've done it before at Pocono. But yeah, it's terrifying, especially even more scary is when you hear 5 wide. And I've only heard it once, and that was at Pocono going down the front chute. And oh man, that's a white knuckle experience right there.
Yeah. A while back in a Pocono race I was in, we went 6 wide down the front stretch.
Oh, you can do it. You just can't get into turn 1 that way.
Yeah, there were a few guys that might have got caught up in a wreck that way.
Might have.
Yeah.
I'm putting money on black on that one that everybody did. But right now, Bob Beltrami in the 14 making his way around the 30 of Wayne Hutchinson is Beltrami on the fresher shoes, able to make some headway. And rest of the 8th spot away. Hutchinson back to 9th. Rob Gall back up into the number 10 spot, as that looks like Javier Torres coming out of the pits.
Don't look now, but Jeff Hollingsworth is closing right in on the 18 of Kyle McCartney.
Absolutely. Again, David Weaver continues to show the way up front in the 16. Bentley Glazer sitting in, about 2.5 seconds back off of him as they work their way around the lap truck. I believe that is the 6.
I wonder if the 16 of David Weaver will be able to make it on fuel with one more stop.
Well, the fact that he's coming in now, he's definitely golden, considering that we saw these guys go 55 laps. 51 anyways, 51, 52 I'm seeing throughout the field. So, yes, he can make it from here. Everybody else is going to have to come back down one more time, especially those guys that pitted early.
Yeah, he might be in the catbird seat here, pitting on that lap 12 caution.
You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong there. Is Weaver the only one the last one to go pit side? As I dare say, looking at the pit deltas, everybody taking just 4 in fuel, nobody having to get any repairs done under this set of green flag pit stops. We've got 21 trucks left on the lead lap. Eric Woods in the 85, the last truck being scored as such.
Not the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth and the 18 of Kyle McCartney are side by side. It looks like Jeff will clear him heading into turn 1.
Absolutely, and not a big difference between those guys on tires, but it's McCartney's MO. He likes to save his equipment, and the fact that we've gotten such a long green flag run here, McCartney's thinking this might stay green the rest of the way, so he's not punishing the truck. He's not pushing the envelope a lot like Hollingsworth probably is, because Hollingsworth would love nothing better than to get back up there and battle with his buddy. 2 of the members of the OGR team running 1 and 2 right now, with Glazer showing the way, so getting that all-important bonus point for leading a lap. Currently, Hollingsworth has the most laps led, but there's still time for Glazer to catch him.
Yeah, as this race winds down, we'll see if any of these guys might take 2 tires on this next pit stop, try to jump
15.
some guys.
As we've got some action going on in the mid-pack, that's Barry Phil, James Dwyer, and Justin Burns going after it, as you've got the lap truck of Ron Hollyfield there as well.
They're going to go 3 wide down this front straightaway. Oh, they're contact. They're wrecking. Oh, somebody's on their side.
Oy.
Oh, wow. This changes everything.
Yes, it does. Throw your pit strategy out the window. And that was just one of those situations where you don't realize you're 3 wide until it's too late, as that is probably going to end Hollyfield's night, because that's the second time he has annihilated that truck. But let's roll that beautiful bean footage, James. Again, James Riles in the production truck tonight. Thank you so much for giving us all these great camera angles. But you can see, coming out of the dog leg, they didn't realize they were 3 wide until all hell broke loose.
Oh, and they're still wrecking.
They're still wrecking.
Looks like there's some beef between the 42 of Barry Phil and the 20 of Ron Hollifield.
Yeah,
looks like he tracked him down.
There. That was the 25.
Yeah, that was the 25. Sorry about that.
Oh no, okay. The 7 got into the 25 and just turned him. Not sure why. Checkup gone wrong. As Kilgore just full send it mode. 0 Fs given and just annihilates the 42. Unfortunately, Barry Phil going to have to tow the Mobile 1 Toyota Tundra back to the pits. So as we've got takers going down pit road, not sure exactly what's going on with Angelo Espo. He was leading this piece for a short time, but they're putting Glazer and McCartney back in front of him, and he's coming down pit road now, so not going to really matter a whole heck of a lot. But definitely, Joe, this is throwing the pit strategy completely out the window now.
Yeah, throw away that pit strategy we were talking about and add in a little bit of an old-fashioned shootout.
Absolutely. You can make it from here, and there's a lot of heavy hitters that have been taken out of this one already. But up at the front of this piece, we've got the points leader, Bentley Glazer, showing the way. Kyle McCartney sitting right there. Jeff Hollingsworth in third. Brian Barnes, Bob Beltrami, Kevin Thrift, Rob Gall, Will Fletcher, Dennis Fuson, and Ryan Steele rounding out your top 10. And with as tight as that points battle is between Steele and Glazer, you've got to wonder, what does Steele have for Glazer right now? As Glazer, we've seen it time and time again, you get him into the lead and good luck.
Yeah, he'll make that truck, as wide as that backstretch sometimes.
Absolutely. Now, I would like to point out there is no chase format for these guys. It's just straight up points till the end of the season. And there's only going to be 2 races left. We are off next week for Thanksgiving up here in the States. So, have a happy holiday on that one. But we are back on November 30th at Gateway, and then championship weekend at Phoenix on December 7th.
Yeah, those are some heavy-hitting tracks. Gateway, it's like an intermediate short track, and Phoenix is pretty much a full-on short track.
Absolutely, and it's going to be in the wheelhouse of those guys that know how to downshift this truck and not chirp the tires. Because you're going to need to grab gears, and the guys that can do it and do it proficiently are definitely going to have an advantage when we go into these final 2 races of the season. So looks like the lights have gone out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. Glazer going to have the button in that Gatorade Chevy Silverado. He's going to be joined on the front row with the Toyota Tundra of Kyle McCartney. And then there's a whole slew of Chevys behind them, and Hollingsworth and Barnes making up row number 2. The only one breaking up that Chevy melee is Bob Beltrami's Beltrami Salami, number 14, currently restarting in 5th. So as the field working its way through the 3-4 complex for what we hope is the last restart of this race, Glazer going to have the button as the pace truck gets ready to make that hard left turn onto pit road as the field works its way out of 4 and into the Red Cat restart zone they go. Green flag is out, and we are back underway.
The 87 of Bentley Glazer get a huge jump there, and now the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth is on the inside of Kyle McCartney for second.
Absolutely. Hollingsworth on the fresh shoes. We've seen him be strong all night long, as here comes Brian Barnes and a popsicle number 4 working on the inside of McCartney as well. It seems like when you're on fresh tires, the low lane is where you want to be, and once you've worn all the goodie off, that second lane is going to really start to pay dividends more and more as Beltrami catches the apron coming through 3 and 4, has to chase it up the track, and he's going to lose out to McCartney. He's got to be careful because Kevin Thrift in the Nuclear Banana, number 33, is on the high side and on a charge.
Oh, the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth is completely sideways out of turn 2.
He kept it off the wall, did not cheese grater that truck at all, but he's going to hemorrhage spots. He's going to have to make that time back up. He was pushing too hard, and there's nothing better than racing with your buddies, and you want nothing better than to beat your buddies, and those two guys are really good friends. So it doesn't really surprise me that the Hollingsworth had that problem. It's just trying to push a little too hard on colder tires. It's going to move Brian Barnes up into the number 2 spot. McCartney up into third. Hollingsworth back to fourth. Beltrami currently sitting in the number 5 slot. Is that Rob Gall I'm seeing? Yes, it is. Trying to make some headway in the 31. Working to the inside of Kevin Thrift's 33.
Yeah, and it looks like the 18 of Kyle McCartney tried running that middle lane to get a good run on the backstretch, and he'll look low on the 4 of Brian Barnes. He'll get to the inside and try to get clear on exit of the corner, but no, the 4 Brian Barnes will stick right with him.
Barnes is going to stick right with him and just battle tooth and nail right now. But again, on the fresher tires, we've only got maybe 10 laps on these tires so far. Actually, less than that. You still have the good rubber there, so that second lane, it can defend, but not as effectively as somebody that's really willing to send it on the low side. And we know McCartney is not one of those guys that is a win-at-all-costs kind of driver. Is right now he and Hollingsworth going into the slugfest right now. Hollingsworth on the high side and McCartney on the low side. They got Bob Beltrami in tow right now. As up at the front of this piece, Brian Barnes and Bentley Glazer go side by side into turn 1. Barnes up on that second lane, trying to get the momentum going down the back straightaway. It's a drag race into turn number 3.
They'll go side by side, door to door, trying to get any inch, any thousandth of a second out of these cars. They'll go. They almost touched out of 4.
Almost is right. Another coat of paint, those guys would have been in trouble. Here comes Hollingsworth to the inside of Barnes, trying to wrestle the second spot back away from him, as Barnes starting to use that second lane neutral effect, and he cheese graters the right side of the truck coming off of 2.
Don't look now, but the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth is already back up into second and closing in on the leader of Bentley Glazer.
Absolutely, as Barnes just completely cheese grated the right side of that popsicle number 4 coming off of 2, and he has still hemorrhaging spots as he's already dropped to 6th, and he's in danger of losing that to Will Fletcher. Fletcher with a head of steam right now. Next closest battle on track is going to be is for third between McCartney and Beltrami, as those two guys have that sorted out. But right now, it's the 33 of Thrift on the high side of Ryan Steele. Is Steele trying to get up there and gain as many points as he possibly can. Did not have the qualifying attempt that he needed in the 12, and he did get a point for leading a lap, but he cannot let Bentley Glazer run away like Glazer has been known to do.
Yeah, right now he's just trying to feel out what his car is going to do behind somebody, because he hasn't seen much of that today. And he's just inching closer and closer lap by lap. In a couple of laps, they'll be side by side.
Absolutely. As Brian Barnes continues to just hemorrhage spots. Just a lot of right side damage on that number 4, and it's a heartbreak to see him drop like he is. Dennis Busan up into the number 9 spot. Russ Kilgore into the top 10. As the battle's starting to get hot and heavy now. It looks like Hollingsworth looking to the inside of Glazer for the lead, coming off of 2.
The 87 of Bentley Glazer might have tapped the wall on exit there.
Well, it was damn close. Another coat of paint, he would have definitely been in trouble. But Hollingsworth, full send-it mode, going through 3 and 4, wrestles the lead back away from Glazer. So Hollingsworth looking to secure that extra bonus point for most laps led here tonight. He is unfortunately not going to get fastest lap of the race. And we are going to take a look at what happened to Angelo Espo a couple laps ago. Ouch. That was ugly. It was ugly with a capital UG.
Oh, okay.
Eesh. Yeah, that was
He just had
definitely
nowhere to
ugly.
go.
Absolutely not. And that's something you really hate to see is a couple more retirements to announce. James Dwyer has put it on the hauler. Javier Torres has put it on the hauler. And Julian Ricci has put it on the hauler. As Hollingsworth wrestles the lead back away from Glazer. Those two guys have swapped that back and forth the last handful of laps. I'm going to ask you this, Joe. If it's coming into the last lap and they're still running in this condition, do you want to be leading or do you want to be trailing using the draft?
I want to be anywhere where I can't get hit. So, I guess second.
Fair enough. As this battle still rages on at the front of this piece, as looks like Ryan Steele starting to work on the back of Will Fletcher. Steele up into the number 7 spot, up 9 from where he started. And Dennis Husan having an impressive run as well in the 11, currently up 10. So good run on for you, Dennis. And I'd like to remind you that you are watching the Western States Racing League Tuesday Night Truck Series. This is their 46th season for the Western States. And this is the longest running league in iRacing. So it's been our pleasure for the last couple seasons to bring you this action on Tuesday nights. Again, if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, share, turn on bell notifications. And we are going to quickly step away and hear from our good friends over at Red Cat as we're going to go to commercial break and bring you the remaining action of the race. Don't go anywhere. And with the holidays upon us, nothing says I love you to the gearhead in your life more than a hobby-grade radio-controlled vehicle Red Cat, some of the best price point vehicles you are going to find. Ready to run crawlers, ready to run bashers, just about something to suit just about every need out there to get into the hobby grade RC industry. And again, with the holidays coming up, check out our friends over at Red Cat Racing, and description in the video link, link in the video description. Anyways, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, I own a Red Cat vehicle, and I love my Gen 7. Cannot speak high enough about that thing. And we've got a battle for the lead side by side as Hollingsworth slams the door on Glazer going through 3 and 4. As those two guys have a little bit of a gap, almost about 5 truck lengths back to the 18 of Kyle McCartney, who is about a truck length over Bob Beltrami, who's a truck length over Rob Gall to round out your top 5. Then you got a little bit of a gap back to Ryan Steele. So it's getting time to really go time right now, as we are quickly approaching 20 to go. Sorry, 10 to go. We are currently 13. We're approaching that 10 lap mark as again, Hollingsworth continuing to show the way. But how about the recovery drive for Charles Woods up into the number 13 spot, slugging it out right now with Paul Hoffman in the 3. A lot of damage on that United States Postal Service Chevy Silverado for Woods. Got caught up in that first lap melee, and I mean, just used as a pinball. Bounced around the track, hit by everything except the pace truck, and he's able to rebound into a top 15. Currently sitting in the 13th spot, as that battle is hot and heavy right now.
Meanwhile, up front, it looks like Bob Beltrami is trying to make a move for P3.
Well, he's stalking McCartney right now for P3. And they got to be careful because they got a very hungry Rob Gall behind him. Gall has not had the season he's been hoping for, and has not been on the podium a whole lot this season. But, yeah, these guys are just, as we are 10 to go right now, Hollingsworth, Glazer, McCartney, Beltrami, Gall, Steele, Fletcher, Hutchinson, Fuson, and David Wood rounding out your top 10. The closest battle on track right now is this stem to stern freight train for third between McCartney, Beltrami, and Gall. And just as I say that, Glazer was looking on the high side of Hollingsworth and did not get it from him. But, this battle for the final step of the podium, just a slugfest right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're all about the same pace, all the way from 5th to the leader, really. They're all running within a tenth of each other every lap.
Absolutely, and, they all pitted back on lap 68, so they can make it from here without much issue. But, just the fact that these guys are going at it as hard as they are, and we went as long as we did without a caution. That was impressive. You've got a 33 Type A personalities in a simulator. Something's got to give, and the fact that everybody was playing nice after that first caution came out, that shows us that these guys know what they're doing.
Not only do they know what they're doing, they know how to do it fast, too.
Absolutely. As quick time of the race, looks like it is going to go to Wayne Hutchinson in the 30 with a 30.71. That's half a tenth to the good over the next closest time. So
that's 0.2 faster than our pole lap.
Yes, it was. But we've got a lot of drivers in the 31.7 zone. As we are 6 to go, Hollingsworth continues to show the way over teammate Bentley Glazer. And, I mean, if you're Glazer right now, you got to be thinking big picture. You've got a 38-point lead coming into tonight. Steele is back there in 6th. Jeff Schmeier had problems earlier, and he's not been able to recover from those. As a matter of fact, Schmeier, I would believe, was the second one to put it on the hauler back on lap 2. But, you know, you got to be thinking big picture, and, you know, you don't need to win the race to win the war. And you still have 2 weeks left after the off week next week. So, you know, definitely going to be something to be mindful of.
Yeah, as these weeks wind down, sometimes you just got to finish where you're running and not overdrive the car and put yourself in a worse situation.
Absolutely. It's very easy to do that. And it looks like everybody's starting to get kind of petered out right now as we are 3 to go. Hollingsworth, Glazer, McCartney, your top 3. Bob Beltrami right there within striking distance. And I don't think Beltrami is going to really have anything for McCartney because he would have done it by now. But still a strong top 5 finish for the league chief cook and bottle washer.
Yeah, it is. And the race still ain't over yet. He still has time to make a couple moves and try to get up into that P3 position.
Absolutely. His popsicle sticks in the air 2 more times around for Hollingsworth as he continues to pull that gap on his teammate Bentley Glazer. You got to think Glazer just used up all those all the tire that he had early in the run, trying to battle with Hollingsworth to get up to the lead. But you know, Hollingsworth has just put on a clinic here tonight. Has led a ton of laps as they are coming up on the lap truck. I believe that is the 25. Yes, it is. That is James Campbell. They are getting ready to work around as white flag in the air. 1.5 miles left for Hollingsworth as he goes through 1 and 2 one more time. Looks like Campbell's going to get a reprieve here. I hope he realizes that is the leader behind him. As Hollingsworth through 3 and 4 for the final time. Campbell goes to the high side, bangs the wall. Hollingsworth gets by him. And just like that, Jeff Hollingsworth wins at Las Vegas. Bentley Glazer coming home in 2nd. Kyle McCartney 3rd. Bob Beltrami hanging on for 4th. Rob Gall in 5th. Ryan Steele able to come home in 6th. Will Fletcher, after starting 2nd and having some issues early, coming home in 7th. 8th going to Wayne Hutchinson. Dennis Husan up 10, finishing in 9th. And David Woods rounding out your top 10. So while we are waiting for the drivers to get into the Discord server so we can talk to them, we are going to step away one more time and hear from our good friends at Red Cat. And we are back from Las Vegas. And joining us now, the winner of the Red Cat Quick Time Award, winning from the pole and putting on a clinic here tonight. Congratulations, driver of the 97 United States Coast Guard Chevy Silverado, Jeff Hollingsworth.
Hey, thanks, Pat.
And Jeff, it was not an easy victory tonight by any means, but talk us through that first set of green flag pit stops that we saw. Were you second guessing yourself when you saw everybody else behind you peel off before you did?
I was, because I had it in my head for some reason. I forgot about the cautions, and I was saving fuel during the cautions. I'm like, well, if I can get halfway, I want. But no, I would have never made it another stop. I would have ran out of gas. So it finally hit me, and I'm like, oh, I probably should pit. So yeah, it almost bit me. But I was, when that caution came out, I had got back to Bentley about 2 seconds, and my tires were a lot fresher. So I felt pretty good that I was going to be able to get back up there at least. Passing him, though, it's Bentley.
Absolutely. As we were talking about when Glazer gets out front, he makes that truck about as wide as he possibly can. But you bring out that caution that we had back on lap 68. Good news, bad news, and definitely threw the pit strategy right out the window.
Yeah, it did. It kind of reset everything and got us all back bunched up together again. And man, I had to wheel it, and then I had a little moment off of two there. I was pushing a little too hard, and I almost wrecked it on that one restart. So yeah, it was fun, man. I had to race that. I was telling the guys, I said, you ought to have a separate trophy just when you race Bentley hard and beat him, because I wasn't gonna peel off. I was gonna race him because I have been bone dry in this series this year, and I wanted to get that first win of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jeff, congratulations on that. Going to be a huge points night for you, especially with Schmeier having problems early on, putting it on the hauler after only a handful of laps. So big points night for both you and Kyle McCartney. I believe that should jump both of you over Jeff, and I believe that jumps you over Kyle with the bonus point for the pole, bonus point for a lap led, bonus point for most laps led. That should move you back into the top three in points.
Yeah, that's cool. It's rough and not rough, but it's challenging in this league. I mean, there's guys you're going to race every week, and that's why I look forward to it so much. We get around each other, and it's pretty clean, and look forward to racing all of them. So that's cool, man. Top three for now. We'll see what happens the rest of the season.
Well, something I'd like to point out to the viewers, the level of talent in this field. The average I rating for the top 10 was 3,725. That's the average of you guys.
That's really good for a small league.
Absolutely. Well, this isn't really that small of a league. You guys get 33 trucks every week, and it's fun to watch from up here in the booth. But Jeff, before we let you go celebrate, reminder, we are off next week. We come back at Gateway. Your thoughts going into Gateway?
I like Gateway. I'm pretty good on flat tracks. I look forward to racing there. The only thing that stinks about that one is shifting. I think you have to shift there in the truck to do anything good. So we'll see. I'll put the old paddle shifter on and give it heck and see what happens, man. Looking forward to it. I think Bob said on the off week he's going to run some dirt stuff, so that'll be fun.
Nice. All right, Jeff, floor is yours. Who do you need to thank for tonight's win?
First off, thank Bentley for always racing me clean. It was it's absolutely a thrill for me. He's a young guy and I'm an old guy, and to go wheel to wheel with him and get him for once, is cool. I mean, I've beat him before, but it's usually because something happens, This time we out and out raced it. So him and James, Paul, Ron, Charlie, Tim, Freddie, rest of the guys at Old Guys Rule. Bob, of course, for putting this on. It looks like he got a good finish, so good on him. And you guys for broadcasting. My wife, my kids, my grandbabies, and God bless USA.
All right, Jeff Hollingsworth, congratulations on your first win of the season. Looking forward to seeing how you can close out the season. Enjoy the off week, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Same to you guys. God bless. Be safe. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, so that was our winner, Jeff Hollingsworth. And Joe, I believe you have his teammate with you now.
What's up, Bentley? Good race today. Walk us through what you think you could have done differently to maybe get past Jeff.
I could have just not drove so hard at the beginning. There's like 37 laps left, and I thought maybe I could go as fast as I could, and I figured there'd be a caution, but that didn't come out, and just I didn't save my stuff there at the end. And then I had one chance, and I was just too tight to make it happen in 1-2.
Yeah, walk us through what went on with the car throughout the run.
It was pretty easy to drive the whole time. Is you could go wide open the whole time, and that's what I did. Leading, I shouldn't have. Should have been lifting a little bit into the corners, but yeah, it handled really good and just got tight there at the end.
Yeah, that was a good run for you. Good points day. Anybody you'd like to thank?
All my teammates, Jeff, good job. He did a great job tonight. Got the win. Just all my teammates at OGR and you guys broadcasting and Bob for putting on the league. It's a good league.
Well, yeah. Next week we got an off week, and then we head into Gateway. What do you think you can do at Gateway?
Well, I think I'll have a good shot at it. I know Jeff Schmeier usually good there, and Kyle's usually good there. It's a track you got to shift at. Some people, can really get the shifts down. Some people struggle a little bit, so it'll be a good race.
Well, yeah. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and hope to talk to you at Gateway.
Yep, thanks.
So that was our second place finisher, Mr. Bentley Glazer. And joining us now, driver of the iRacing number 18 Toyota Tundra. This is getting monotonous. Kyle McCartney back on the podium again.
Yeah, just knocking out the top fives this season, and most of those are up on the podium. So I'm always happy with that. Plus, I don't really have any drop weeks because I had to miss a few weeks, so I got to keep it clean, and hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll start gaining on the points here.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I was talking to Jeff. Both you and he should get by Jeff Schmeier tonight. As Schmeier had big problems on the opening salvo there that brought out that first caution. He got used as a pinball. So that should put both you and Hollingsworth back in front of him. I believe you're going to maintain in fourth with Schmeier dropping to fifth. But still, I mean, a great night. You kept the truck clean all night long. No self-inflicted wounds that we've seen in the past. We saw a lot of guys cheese grater the right side of that truck tonight, but you were able to keep it clean, and you ran hard with Beltrami there for the final 10 laps.
Yeah, these trucks are so aero sensitive. You got to make sure you can't either bash in the front or ding in the side. It just slows you down too much after you do it. And the only time I think I got close is near the end when I was next to Brian Barnes. We kind of hooked a little bit, but thank God neither one of us wrecked. So that was nice. But yeah, it was fun race. Bob raced me hard, and we were all wheeling it there at the end. And man, if I only had a lap or two more, I probably could have had Bentley. I think he was starting to wear his tires out quite a bit there.
Yeah, he mentioned that he may have gone a little too hard, a little too soon, and he was definitely having some tire fall off at the tail end of this piece. But Kyle, we're going to be off next week for the Thanksgiving holiday, but we return at Gateway in 2 weeks. Your thoughts going into that fun track?
I've raced there a couple times. It's fun, but it can also be a very frustrating track too. And with this truck package, which is low horsepower, it's probably going to lead to some carnage. Definitely, probably going to have to be shifting. So that always makes it a little bit more exciting. But yeah, not sure how it's going to go, but if we can get out of there with another top 5, I'll totally be happy with that.
Absolutely. But Kyle, before we let you go, who do you need to thank tonight to help you get on the podium?
Well, I want to thank my wife. I've been under the weather here lately, so she's been taking care of me. So thank you, honey. And also a shout out to my little bro for the truck set up. He did a better job this week than the last couple weeks, so got to give the shout out to him there too.
Absolutely. So Kyle, enjoy the holiday. We will see you in 2 weeks from Gateway, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys.
So that was our third place finisher, Kyle McCartney. And Joe, I'm gonna put this on you. What is your takeaway from tonight at Vegas?
Just Jeff Hollingsworth dominance. That was insane to watch how great of a drive that was.
Absolutely. And it was the strongest drive we've seen out of the United States Coast Guard, number 97, all season long. And for him to come home with his first victory, as strong as a competitor as he is, the fact that he went the first 15 races of this season winless, first 17 races of the season winless, that speaks volumes for this league and the level of competition that's in it. But we did hear they're going to be doing some fun runs as the season gets ready to wind on down. And again, if you want to get involved with these guys, just shoot Bob Beltrami a private message in the iRacing servers, and he'll get you pointed in the right direction of how to get involved with the Western States Racing League. Let's take a quick rundown of our finishing order. Of course, Hollingsworth, Glazer, and McCartney coming home 1, 2, and 3. Bob Beltrami hanging on for 4th. Rob Gall in 5th. Ryan Steele up 10, finishing in 16th. Will Fletcher rebounding into 7th. Wayne Hutchinson, after setting quick lap of the race, finishing in 8th. Dennis Toussaint into the 9th, up 10 spots from where he started. David Woods in 10th. Kevin Thrift, Russ Kilgore, Charles Woods, Paul Hoffman, and Dustin Burns rounding out your top 15. Joe?
Eric Woods in 16th. 17th will be Keith Kelman. 18th will be David Weaver. 19th will be Brian Barnes. 20th will be Paul Crumry. Wayne Fleet. Fred Williams, James Campbell's, Earl Weaver, and Barry Phil. That'll round out the top 25.
Daryl Scott coming home in 26th. 27th going to Julian Ricci. Angelo Espo in 28th. 29th going to Javier Torres. James Dewar, Ron Hollyfield, Jeff Schmeier, and Carl Burke all putting it on the hauler early. So that is going to about do it for us here tonight. Again, we have to thank our good friends over at Red Cat Racing. Again, holidays are coming up, folks. If you want to tell your gearhead in your life that you love them, give them a hobby grade RC. Red Cat, some of the best on the market right now as far as price point, ready to run bashers that you're going to find anywhere. Getting into the hobby, so much fun. Definitely look into it. So again, join us tomorrow night for championship night, as it's the Sim Racers Edge Alpha Series championship round from Indy on the Oval. That is going to be an 8:15 Eastern Time start. And then 10 minutes later, the Pony Express Sim Racing Endurance for Amateurs Season 3 finale from Watkins Glen. That is an 8:25 Eastern Time start. So I have to thank Mr. James Riles up in the production truck. For Mr. Joe Lester, this is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.